Who be Rabbi Nas Maliki Nas Misha Waswasuki Nas Alavi Door Nas Menal Janati Y Nas. Today I want to just talk about I can remember, growing up in a small town called Eupora, Mississippi. My mother is from a small town called Rosedale, Mississippi. It's in the Delta, about 15 to 20 minutes from Cleveland, Mississippi. It's called Bolivar County. They call those people down there river rats. But my grandmother married a man by the name of Charlie Murray. And Charlie Murray is from the hills, as they call it, because it's a lot of hills. And he was from a place called Eupora, Mississippi. So I remember when I was 7 or 8 years old, I went to Eupora, Mississippi, and my mother worked at a place called the Cotton Bowl. She had a friend by the name of Howard. He had a wife named Ann, and they was real good people, to me, my sister Tut and Jackie. Then my mother met Brenda Terry, which was a good woman. She had 3 kids, Josh, Jamal, and Taiwana, and we became great friends with them. And Mr. Tyrus was just like, Mother Teresa, we could go over there in the morning. Mr. Tyrus would always have breakfast cooked for us. And we played, as normal kids would do. But I left, Eupora, Mississippi, when I was like a little 13 or 14, came back to Chicago. And when I came back to Chicago, that's when all hell broke loose. I went to the juvenile facilities and I ended up doing 3 years in the juvenile facility for armed robbery. And from there, that's what my flight of intelligence and education started. I could never forget that I met a brother from the Nation of Islam, a young brother, and I asked him, why was he dressed like that, and why was he talking about, the black man was God. And he told me why he felt the way that he felt. So I began to start studying, and as I studied under the Nation of Islam. I graduated to the 5%ers. From the 5%ers, I graduated to the Sunni religion. I started teaching myself Arabic, and I started reading different things. But because, I was young at the time, and I had no support because at the time my mother didn't understand the in-depthness of, me being incarcerated. So, I had my mother's twin sister, my auntie Tome. She came in to assist me, in my endeavors within the institution, and she came to visit me and made my hard stench light. So I got up out of that conditions, and I got out when I was a little bit older, and I got to the streets of Chicago, started meeting, different individuals. Because I was from down south and had good mannerisms, I was able to go in all the different neighborhoods from the west side to the south side. One of the places I always went to, was on 63rd and King Drive. They had a building over there, and there was good brothers over there at the time, and they was making a lot of money, so I liked it to be around them brothers. And, we grew up on 5531 South Woods, and over there, you had the Black Peach Stones, which they was called Ruben Knights at that time. So I acclimated with the Ruben Knights, and I learned, a lot of things. But I also, went over there, and conversed with the gangster disciples. But I was always around the BDs. I was always around the MCs. I was always around the Latin Kings, the SDs, the 2 6s, all of them, And I acclimated with all of them, and I wanted just to know the culture of the people. And today, there's been a falling away from the culture, and Chicago has become a killing field and a battle line. But in the times that I grew up in this city, that was structure. You just couldn't go into anybody's neighborhood and sell drugs. You couldn't go in any neighborhood just shooting. You had to have authorization, But then you had, the federal government come in with Countertail Pro, and they came in and got Larry Hoover, on some racketeering charges and wiretaps, went into Dictional Correctional Facility and, got him out of there. I had the privilege, of being older, I went to Statesville, I've been to Menard, I've been to Big Muddy, I've been to Illinois River, I've been to Robinson, I've been to Danville, I've been to all them penitentiaries, you know what I'm saying? And I was able, you know what I'm saying, at that time to have knowledge of the culture, you know what I'm saying, of Chicago. But you know, a lot of things that I see people doing, you know what I'm saying, in a small town, claiming, you know what I'm saying, they what they is kind of funny. I got a lot of love for my nigga High C. I got a lot of love for my nigga Bodine and Flex because they went through the struggles. I got a lot of love for my nigga Ike. These brothers that been through the struggle and know the truth, you know what I'm saying? You got Greek brothers in the midst of you all, but y'all lacking, you know what I'm saying, on the knowledge that they had to give to you because you think that you didn't experience something. But you got to understand that, you know what I'm saying, you don't want to go to where we been. You know, me and Ike was in the penitentiary together, you know what I'm saying, in Mississippi. We was in Rankin County and Coetta, you know what I'm saying, Ike, he'll tell you my duty, you know what I'm saying, that was I started to manifest education. I did what Larry said. I wanted to get him education, economic, self-development, political, and unity. Even though I'm not under the six, you know what I'm saying, but I still wanted to do what Larry them had showed me in Chicago because I know that in order for the transition, you know what I'm saying, out of the conditions they was in, they was going to have education. And I was trying to start up a program like they did in Chicago with the 21st century vote in Mississippi, but they weren't ready for it. So I was trying to teach them about 42 USC 1983. And I did it, you know what I'm saying? I was kicked out of Partial, Mississippi. They sent me, you know what I'm saying, in different camps, you know what I'm saying, throughout the state of Mississippi. Uh, I sued. I helped people, you know what I'm saying, with their appeals and things of that nature. You know, like I have done everywhere else I've been. My duty in this on this earth is just to take brothers and show them, you know what I'm saying, that man, education is the key, but the education that I'm gonna give you is an education, you know what I'm saying, of understanding the politics. As Larry Hoover says, you know what I'm saying, and I, you know, glorifying this man, but he had, you know what I'm saying, a great message for the people. You know what I'm saying? Go to the polls and vote. Put the guns down because you win when you put your people in power. But guess what? When you put your people in power, you got to make sure they just. You got to make sure they stand on justice. And justice means just ice, meaning it's just and it's cold. It's 360 degrees below zero. And that's the coldest that anything can get. So you don't want nobody to come into power and be a tyrant. You know what I'm saying? And abusing their privileges to be in the power they in. We have to establish our own government. You have to quit running to the people. You got to quit down to your own people. You know what I'm saying? I see on Facebook, you know what I'm saying, people want to talk about women got tracks in their head. Well, guess what? Just because she couldn't afford the tracks that you can afford don't make her lesser than. She just couldn't afford them. But she's still trying to keep herself up. So what you should do is you should praise your own sister and give her self-glorification. Because once you start impregnating the thought into her mind that she is somebody, then y'all could get together and sit down and get to the business. You know what I'm saying? It's sad to come from a town where I never seen nobody black own a business downtown. Fearful of them crackers down there. I was never fearful of them. I fought them. I went to trial in courts, beat them in the town. I was trying to give the town encouragement. I wrote articles in the newspaper. Go back and look at the articles in the newspaper I wrote, talked about the Catholic Church. You know what I'm saying? Went and talked to the sister, Miss Mays, told her what God told me to tell her about the day of reconciliation, that we had to come together and pray. And she told me what we need to do is go and talk about black history at the school. And I told her, I said, sister, if we going to talk about black history, that's got to start at home first. My mission that I've been on for over 25, 30 years is still going on, and I ain't going to stop. I thought things had changed when Barack Obama got in office. But guess what? Nothing didn't change. Only thing that changed was that the individual that was trying to help us in America, such as Omar Gaddafi, you know what I'm saying? You had the Saddam Husseins, you had the Bin Laden. They mischaracterized their character. These was the people that was trying to help. But you don't know this because you ain't went and studied the genealogy and studied the history of these individuals. You only took what the television and told you. Man, we have to stop. And we got to come together, man. Y'all in a small town, y'all done got a black mayor. Assist that brother, Mr. Dumas, and make your town great. Right now, you know what I'm saying? There should be a business guru in there that's owning 30 or 40 of them houses. Them Europeans, they dying at a astounding rate. You know what I'm saying? You know, y'all thought I was crazy when I was there, when I was there. But I was one of the youngest individuals having my own house, having my own everything. And I came out of jail doing this. Now I'm seeing my brother Coetta Hill living it up. You know what I'm saying? God's been good to us. God said that he'll take the foolish things of this world and shame the wise. Yeah. My brother, you know what I'm saying? I see they hating on my brother. Always been a good dude. One of the smartest people you'll know. When we was doing work in school, he was in shape class, playing video games because his IQ was on the level, you know what I'm saying, of a genius. He sat amongst the white Europeans and understood the philosophies that they was talking about. But nobody ain't never went to him and asked him, you know what I'm saying, the question of what did he hear, you know what I'm saying, while he was in shape in that room. But then you see, you know what I'm saying, that he above most people, you know what I'm saying, in his circle. And you hate on him. Shit, man, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our people done died there. People that I really love, Miss Josie, Bob Ann, you know, my grandma, Maggie Lee. You know what I'm saying? My pop, CJ Bangham. These are the people that I got love for. Brother, sister, Gene and Tony Wayne Bingham. I love y'all because when I was out in the water and I was drowning, Sister Jean, you told me that I had so much knowledge that I'd grab a duck and wouldn't die. And you was right. I just want to, you know what I'm saying, show love to you. This ain't a video, you know what I'm saying, to down anybody. But I'm just telling you people in that small town, man, unify. Because where there's unity, there's power. Knowledge is the key. Salam alaikum. Walaikum salam.